Do you ever have those days where you just want to throw in the towel and you really mean it this time? Well, in this Momtrepreneur Life Coffee Chat, let's talk about business success motivation, and I am going to give you the one key ingredient you need for your continued success. Hey Mom, so welcome to the Momtrepreneur Life Coffee Chat. I'm Jody the Mom from lifeunboxed.blog. And if you are new to the channel, I am a momtrepreneur. I've been running a successful virtual assistant business for almost 10 years, and I homeschool my 6 kids, 2 to 17. So Life Unboxed covers all the topics of raising your kids, running a business, and keeping your sanity. So for this Momtrepreneur Life Coffee Chat, I wanted to talk about giving up, because last week, I'll just be honest with you, last week I was so ready to throw in the towel. Like, I was hovering over the delete button, and I was just going to delete my website, delete my YouTube channel, delete my podcast. I was done. So the only thing that actually stopped me at the moment was I have a sponsored post I have to post on the 21st, and so I've already committed to it, so I needed to follow through on it. But it was really just kind of a low point. And I think when it comes to business, we hit a lot of those low points, because if you follow the advice or the statistics that everyone offers, they say it takes 2 to 3 years to see any traction with the business, and then 5 years to make serious money. So if I think about how long I've been doing, so let me back up. So for my virtual assistant business, it did not take that long. I was ready. I had my first client within 2.5 months, and it met our budget that we needed to make at the time, and so it was really fast. And with my content creation for momtrepreneurs, I think it's probably taking more of a natural trajectory and progression, but I don't like it. It's too slow for me. I want to keep moving. I want to move faster. I want to grow faster than I am. But at the same time, like, I feel like, okay, so summer is birthday season. We have like 5 birthdays all within 6 weeks of each other. We also celebrated our anniversary this week. So we were kind of just like dropped into the season of incredible busyness. It is winding down. I'm seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not an oncoming train. So considering like how busy my life is, anyway, I don't know if I actually have the capacity to ramp up as fast as I would like to ramp up. So progress is slow and steady, as frustrating as that is. So, all right, back to last week. So I wanted to throw in the towel, and so that's what's inspiring this coffee chat is, like I said, I was serious. My finger was hovering over the delete button. And then I read this quote, and I actually saw another quote today. So I'm going to read you both quotes because they're both very fitting. It's worth remembering that it is often the small steps, not the giant leaps, that bring about the most lasting change. And so that was Queen Elizabeth II. And of course, with her passing, there was a lot of people paying tribute. So that one was one of her quotes. And considering it's coming from a woman who's seen so much, I mean, regardless of whether you're queen or not, just the fact that she lived to be 96 years old, and you think of everything that's transpired in her lifetime, it's pretty incredible to think that someone who could take giant leaps and really leave lasting change often said that it was the small steps. Okay, and then the other quote is, consistency is what transforms from average to excellence. And that's James Clear, and he's the author of Atomic Habits. Okay, so I promised, so that's my story. So I promised I would tell you the one thing you need for business success motivation, and that is consistency. So that James Clear quote, let's read it again. Consistency is what transforms from average to excellence. So whether you are a content creator, you're a virtual assistant, it's that consistency of showing up on a continual basis, showing up for your clients, showing up at wherever your audience is, just showing up and being consistent with whatever is in your hands to do is what is going to determine your success. And so, and I know this is not something that's earth-shattering. I'm fully aware that everyone says this, as I just read you 2 quotes of other people saying it. But at the same time, it's one of those things that I think we need to hear again and again. Like, you can't just hear it once. You need to keep hearing it. So if you're ready to throw in the towel or just be done with anything, and this does not just apply to business, this applies to life, remember that consistency is the number one business motivator, or your business success motivation. Okay, so how do you actually be consistent? Because again, everyone says be consistent, and it is a word that does have a lot of practical application. So it's not one of these ethereal ideas and then everyone's like, okay, bye-bye, you're on your own now. But how do you just continue to be consistent? Okay. So one thought, and I had this one thought right lurking at the back of my mind, and now I can't remember what it was. So we're just going to go through some of these thoughts that I just have in my head. Okay, one thing to do is to actually track your progress. So whatever it is you're doing, when you started, you need to track your progress. And this is why you're not going to remember where you were last year at this time unless you write it down and you track it. So I did look back recently. This was at another time when I wanted to throw in the towel, but I didn't mean it as much as I meant it this time. But anyway, so I looked back just to see, and because what I've been tracking are growth across the website, across my social media, podcast, YouTube channel, all that kind of stuff. And I looked at the numbers, and I actually had doubled my numbers from the previous year. And so even though for me, like, I feel like I'm going at a snail's pace when it comes to growth, doubling your audience is actually a huge leap. And so that's why and whatever you're doing, whether you're doing a virtual assistant or, something like a virtual assistant, I think might be easier to track because it's really coming down to numbers and how much you're making. And so you're more than likely tracking that more consistently. So look back and see how far you've come. And next is to have people around you. Sorry, I'm waiting for my son to come out of his job, and people are starting to come out. So I'm like hoping I'm not catching them on camera. Maybe we'll turn it a little bit. There we go. Okay, so next is to have people around you who won't let you quit. So that's a big one, is to have people that will continue to encourage you during those low times. So for me, it's my husband, and he will talk me off often. And so you need to have those people around you. Because here's the thing. I don't necessarily think that never give up is the best advice. I think there are things in life and at times that you need to give up on. But I also understand that there are a lot of people who at the first sign of any kind of adversity or it's not going their way would just give up, and that's shouldn't happen either. So I will be exploring more on this topic of quitting and when to quit and the right time to quit and things like that. But that's for another one. That's for another show. So even though you want to have people around you who are going to help you to be consistent and encourage you to continue to be consistent, you still want to have like a timeline of when you will actually throw in the towel. Because again, I don't think that everything is a worthwhile pursuit. That maybe there are certain criteria that, you know, if you say, if I don't reach these milestones, and these can be flexible because life happens, and sometimes, you know, you don't reach a milestone because you had to deal with something with your kids. But have a criteria of what is it going to take to cause you to pull the plug, and stick with that criteria. So whether it's a timeline, so I just gave you a time frame of 2 to 3 years to see progress, and then like 5 years to see real money being made from your business. That is a specific time frame. And so so that's kind of like what I'm using as my rule of thumb. And also when it comes to blogging and digital creation, they do say it takes like 3 years minimum to for the blog to get off the ground. That totally stinks. Seriously, I don't have time. I don't have that much time. Okay, and then next, so have a specific criteria of when you will call it quits. And if you don't meet that criteria, you cannot call it quits. Those are the rules. And then also, what's going to help...
Could you try again?
Okay, I don't think Siri will interrupt anymore. Okay, so that also, to help you to be consistent, you want to have processes in place. And so what I mean is, okay, so since I am a content creator and a digital creator, I produce shows once a week, and I write for those shows once a week, and then I post them on social media and promote them. So I have all of these processes set, like, okay, Monday I'm going to schedule all my links for the week, you know, Tuesday is this, Wednesday is this, such and such. So that way, even though I am at a low point, there's still things that I know that need to be done. So I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think it through. I can still, you know, be frustrated with everything, but yet still do the work that needs to be done, because I have these processes in place and I have my calendar laid out and I know what I need to do. So it doesn't require any, I guess, emotional energy from me, because all of that is already being spent on whether I should quit or not. So have processes in place for your business so that you can continue to be consistent. So those are my tips for your business success motivation. And it really is, again, it's not an earth-shattering piece of advice, but it's something that needs to be heard again and again, and that is just to be consistent. So I will read the quotes again. It's worth remembering that it is often the small steps, not the giant leaps, that bring about the most lasting change. So hopefully this will be the last Momtrepreneur Life Coffee Chat that I am recording in my car. So we have a lot happening, but that busyness that we were kind of suddenly dropped into is now going to start to slow down. And part of that is hopefully my oldest will be getting his driver's license soon. And then I won't be the mom taxi. He can be the teen taxi from now on. So I am very excited about that and looking forward to that next milestone of childhood, because he is the oldest, so the first one getting his driver's license. So that is a wrap. Let me know how are you consistent in your business, and what keeps you from throwing in the towel when, no, this time you really mean it. You're going to do it. Okay, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're going to do it. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And I will see you in the next coffee chat.